Hello friends, this is Adam from the Hoboken Public Library, bringing you another simple machine build. This time we're going to use pretty much all regular LEGO bricks. We're going to make a hand-powered windmill. We have Petey the Pirate and Benny hanging out with us today. And if you want to go ahead and take a look at the pieces that we have here, if you'd like to pause the video and gather up as many of these pieces as you can, that would be awesome, so you can build along with me. Remember that your machine does not have to look like mine. It can look like your own. We're just going to build some machines together. So some Lego pieces that you won't need to grab are these yellow square bricks. Those are just holding my paper down so they don't blow away. Just all these pieces on the wood here are what you need. So we're going to start off with the base of our windmill. We're going to want to make it pretty secure. So let's grab two of these rectangular pieces and put them together. And what that's going to do is that's going to make the foot of our windmill a little wider so that it doesn't move around so much. Next, we're going to take this big circular piece and we're going to put it down, and we're going to put it right in the middle of these pieces. So make sure that's nice and very snug. Perfect. We've got that little bit of a base. Now we're going to start putting the bricks down. We're going to take this angular one because it's going to give us a cool little look for the end result. Let's see what we're doing here. One and one. These here. So we've put this 3 by 2 here, and we put a couple of these corner pieces in around our slanted piece. And now we're just going to finish up with 2 small 2x1s. And there we are. That's going to be the base of our windmill. Let's continue building upwards. We're going to put 4 of these big, stout, square 2x2s. 2, 3, 4. Perfect. Now we're going to add in this piece. You might have seen this piece in one of the first videos I did with the Lego car that has a helicopter blade on it. So we're going to need this. We're going to want to put these gears in. 1. So these teeth in here, that's the gear's teeth. These pieces down here. We're going to want to put this in facing inwards, just like that. We're going to want to put the other one in. And this part's a little tricky. You got to hold it. And then we're going to put this 4x2 with these holes in it right on there. And you will only be able to get this snugly on when the gear is right in the middle. Oh, did you hear that snap? I did. Now it's very snugly on. The dimensions of this thing are a little weird, so we're going to have to put one of these flat 4x1 pieces here and another one right there. Then we're going to take these pieces here and put it in. If you notice, I have sort of a pattern. I'm building from here upwards. That's so I can kind of keep track of where my pieces are, what goes next. So I'm going to build here upwards for the foundation. And then this part, I'm going to build this way for the top of my windmill. So follow along with me. I will be letting you know about each step of the process as we go. So we're going to want to put this on right here, right on top. We're going to hear a very satisfying click. Yeah, perfect. And that's it. This bottom part, this is going to be the mechanism. We're going to put something here to turn. We're going to put an axle up from here. And what that's going to do is we're going to connect that to another axle up here. And we'll see a little farther down the road what that's going to look like. Next, we notice that we've got some pieces here that we're going to need to build out before we can put anything else on top of here. So we'll put these pieces right here. One of these, right in, right in. One of these, one of these. Boom. Great. We're going to want to take a couple of our axles at this point and pop them in. We have this piece and this long axle. We're going to want to put this long axle right here. We're going to want to put it down. We're going to want to put this short axle in here. And when I turn this axle will turn. That's the basic mechanism. Now let's build up around it, give the windmill some walls. We're going to take 2 of these pieces and 2 of these pieces, and we're going to make rows of pretty much these types of pieces for a little while here, but we're going to make them nice and strong. I'll show you 2 different techniques and why the first technique is better. If I were to take these pieces and just stack them so these 2 are the same size right on top of each other, and these 2 are the same size right on top of each other, you'll notice that these are not connected, and therefore it's not that strong. It can't really resist any amount of force on it. So we're going to want to make a pattern, and I'll show you how to make that pattern. First, we're going to take this 1x4s, put them right here, and these 2x1s right here. So that's the general way we're going to make our walls. But now we're going to switch it up. In order to make it stronger, instead of putting the 4x1 here, we're going to put it right here. And we're going to repeat this process. We're going to put these 2x1s here and the 4x1s here. 2x1 here, right? And now what are we going to do? Well, we're not going to put this here, are we? No, we're going to put it here because that's going to be a lot stronger. And I'll show you a demonstration of that in the end. In fact, I can show you right now. If I push this, nothing happens. If I take 3 pieces, just like this, and I push it, it's going to break. This, I'm pushing that very hard. Nothing's happening. So let's continue. And if you notice, because we did that little change, it sort of makes a pattern, looks sort of like a building. I like to use a lot of different colors with my Lego builds. I don't like to make it all one color or whatever. I like it to really be colorful. And this helps it be a little more colorful if you switch it up. So let's finish up here. Now we're going to leave some of these bare. I'll show you what I mean in just a second. At the top of this, we are going to make little windows. So if you notice, we didn't lay anything here. We didn't lay anything here. And instead, we put these arch pieces in. That's going to give us a little window inside. So we can actually see that gear moving. We're going to take this thin circular piece, and you notice it has a hole in it. And this is very important because this wobbly. We don't want wobbles in our mechanism. We want everything to be nice and tight. So we're going to put one of these, and then we're going to put a couple more of these thicker circular pieces in here. Boom. And the circular pieces, they have two reasons. One, it has the hole in the middle, so this, you know, is very, very secure in here. Let me demonstrate what I mean by that. That does not wobble all that much at all. The second part is that it kind of gives us a little bit of a distinction here. Like this is the base of the windmill, and this is where it starts to change into the top of the windmill. So that gives us a little, architectural difference there. And it looks sort of cool. So it's got two different reasons. One, it helps it hold it in place, and two, it just sort of looks cool. So now that we've got that going, we're going to attach the top of our windmill here. This is where it starts to get pretty cool because we're going to have some gears to play with. So we're going to put this down first. Now again, if you don't have a piece like this, that's fine. You can use 2 of these and 2 of these, no problem. I have one, so I'm going to use it. I'm going to put that right on top there. Wonderful. Now I'm going to take this small bushing, and I'm going to lay it down right here. I'll put it over that gear, just like that. Got a little bit of this axle poking out, which is what we want, because this gear is going to go on it. But first, we're going to want to take this and put it here. We're going to take this, put it right here. Should look something like this. We're going to put this gear in, just like that. There we go. We have gear movement. We're going to take one of these arch pieces. I'm going to pop it right in here. And if you notice, that arch piece is important because it has enough space to allow our gear to move. Very cool. Now we're going to assemble the last couple pieces. I'm going to take this 4x1 here. I'm going to take this 4x1 with the holes inside. I'm going to put it right here. I'm going to hold off for just a second because now our next gear comes in, but it's a little tricky the way we have to put it in. We have to take our gear and we have to put it in first. Then we have to line up the gear hole, perfect, and then pop this axle in. Great. Absolutely perfect. Now you notice we have a little bit of, we got to eat some space here. We can't put something right on here, right? It's going to touch our gear. So we're going to want to take 2 more of these, simply put them right here. And we're going to take this top and we're going to cover our whole design, but we want it to match up with this circle on the bottom, right? So we want it to match up. Perfect. It's a little offset because we had to push this out that much in order to create space for our gear. It also has a little overhang. Looks sort of cool. You can imagine a windmill might have that as well. Okay, let's get the top of our windmill going here. I have a couple of these slanted pieces, and these kind of work well if you want to create sort of a very steep roof, which a lot of windmills also have. So I laid them out just like this. We're going to take these pieces and we're going to put them right back here. What that creates is a sort of funky cool, very funky cool roof. It's hard to make roofs with Lego. So it sort of helps if you make it very funky. All right, let's build the actual windmill portion of our windmill, huh? So we have to put this gear, this axle rather, we have to put this axle on these Lego pieces with studs. So this is a great Lego to use for that because it's got that axle piece right there. So we're going to stack two of these on top of each other, and we're going to take this circular one and we're going to put it just like that. Perfect. Now we're going to put our windmill together, and what we're going to do is we're going to take this circle, we're going to take this, we're going to make sure that all these are the same size, and we're going to put it on these bottom right three, just like that. Don't worry about it being a little loose. We're going to put something on that holds it together really tight. So we're going to put this one right here. Then we're going to turn this whole thing down. We're going to take another one and put it again on the bottom right three holes, just like that. We're going to flip it again. Bottom three holes, just like that. We're going to flip it one more time. Boom. All right. Now we're going to take one of these. You can put really any square flat piece. It doesn't matter what kind of piece it is. I have this one with a little hole in the middle because I'm going to put a little flare. I'm going to put this little pink stud on there because I think that looks great. And I'm going to put this right on top. Now that could be finished. It could absolutely be finished, but I'm going to add just a couple pieces just to give it a little bit of flair. I like to give my pieces a little bit of flair, and I'm going to put those just like this. And I'm going to take a different one because I think that the pink is going to look really cool if I spin it around. So I don't know if you can tell, but that one's pink and these ones are gray. So I'm hoping that that gives a little cool effect. And let's mount this on here. So we're going to put our finger in here behind the gear. Otherwise, if you push this axle, it's just going to come inside. So we want to put our finger, if you can see my finger right here on top of that gear. We're going to hold that and we're just going to mount this just like that. Now we could give it a whirl, but I think first we need our fake instruments, our fake buttons. So I'll put those on first. And then we need our actual real crank device. And we'll put that right here. And now we have a hand-powered windmill. Seems I must have hit the papers during my build. There we go. And remember, we made that little window inside. So we have two windows, one here and one here, so we can see how it works. Now, if you don't have any Technic pieces, by that I mean this gear here, this axle here, that's okay. You don't actually need it for this. Now we have our gear, we have our axles because we want to turn this in order to make this turn, right? That's the machine element. But if you have at home one of these pieces, which a lot of sets come with, and one of these pieces, which a lot of sets also come with, so these are not rare pieces, and you just put that in like that, you can take this whole assembly out, take the axle out, take this part out with the holes, and simply put this here, put that on top, put the roof on, attach your windmill. So you don't actually need this, right? So that's not doing anything anymore. It's no longer attached. Instead, we used just some regular old Lego pieces. And actually, I gotta say, that works pretty good too. Well, thank you so much for joining me with this build today, folks. I hope you had a great time. I know I did. Check out HobokenLibrary.org for some of our amazing e-resources. And also check out the other YouTube videos on our YouTube channel at youtube.com and search for the Hoboken Public Library. We've got loads of videos coming and loads of videos already out there. So take care, guys, and enjoy your weekend.